Welcome to the McMedia Report for today, Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. My name is Eric. I'm a former program director and news director for a local news talk radio station, and so I'm very passionate about the coverage of the news. Sometimes I talk about the news itself, sometimes I talk about the stories that go into some of the things that are reflecting changes that are happening in the media, and sometimes I just talk about other news stories that I think are important that you should know about. Other than that basic qualification, I have no other qualifications for offering my opinion, but I do think that it's important and I appreciate you watching. Today, I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet. Last night, with the exception of the Nexstar-owned and Sinclair-owned ABC affiliates, Jimmy Kimmel returned to air across the ABC network. When I say it excludes the Nexstar and Sinclair affiliates, don't forget that Nexstar and Sinclair, who are two of the largest owners of local broadcast television stations, just short today of 300 for Sinclair. They're just about 290. And Nexstar is just over 300, just about 310. Both of them are trying to purchase Tegna, which is another large owner of local television stations, just about 100. So they're trying to get their purchases pushed through the government. And don't forget that it requires FCC approval from Brendan Carr, and it also has to pass all of the regulatory approvals for public companies buying other public companies, which means that it goes through Trump's Justice Department. So they are pandering hard to those two people, and they are enforcing a continued blackout of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Ironically, here in New Orleans, it's being blacked out by WGNO. That is the laughingstock of over-the-air television stations. They are likely beat out by all of the others, Fox 8, WDSU, WWL, all of those are for sure. I think even WWL's sister station, WUPL, beats out WGNO. So, oh no, he's not on in New Orleans. There are probably 3 people watching them. So, Nexstar, you're really hurting Jimmy Kimmel by doing that. The reason I want to bring it up is because you should spend 10 to 15 minutes watching Jimmy Kimmel's 10-minute monologue. It might have gone for 15 minutes, but his return to air. He deals with all of the situations that were involved in him being temporarily suspended with amazing grace, amazing class. He reaches out to the widow of Charlie Kirk. It was such a human moment, and he really dealt with the issue that's at hand, which is the government trying to impose their will of free speech on the people of this country. And he also points out the hypocrisy of Brendan Carr and Donald Trump. I don't want to go into too many more details because he did it so much more eloquently than I could ever imagine or I could ever hope to do. But all I can say is it doesn't matter whether you like Jimmy, whether you dislike Jimmy, whether you agree with him, whether you disagree with him. I think most Americans would agree with the message that he put forward in his opening monologue last night. So head to YouTube. If you are a Hulu subscriber, his show is on Hulu. You can watch it this morning. As I said, I live in New Orleans. I'm not watching WGNO. I don't think anyone does. So it wasn't like them pulling it prevented me from watching it. So Hulu, YouTube, spend 10 to 15 minutes. It's an incredible watch, and I don't think you'll be let down. I support Jimmy's stance on free speech. I support everything that he said in his monologue last night, and I think you will too. That's today's McMedia Report. If you're looking for something a little less heady and a lot more fun, head on over to the other channel that I'm a part of, Movie Night and Game Day. We should have a new episode coming out this week, but stay tuned for that. In the meantime, enjoy your Wednesday. That's today's McMedia Report.